Hey everyone, I just finished watching a very good video by Songbirddiva for Life on self-esteem and pretty much deciding and allowing yourself to let go of the negative things or people that might be in your life that keep you from doing what you need to do for yourself as an individual. And I just wanted to do a video response because I found it very touching and inspirational. And I, working as a counselor and I work with, adolescent boys and girls. I feel like sometimes being able to share real life experiences with the kids allow them to see that everybody has struggles and everybody has to make big decisions and major decisions in their lives to get to where they want to be as a person and become a person that they can be truly proud of. And things that I share with some of my kids when working with them, especially when they are being influenced by other kids around them, it's just things that I've gone through and, or mentioning stories about people that I've known that have gone through similar things, and in Songbird Diva's video, she was just saying that sometimes in life you have to make, life changing decisions, whether to cut people off, in order for you to prosper and get to where you want to be as an individual. And I think that's something that a lot of people can relate to and a lot of people need to do. Sometimes it's hard because we get in this comfort zone and we think, our friends are here, they're going to be here forever and they're going to like us for us. But sometimes the reality is not everybody that's around you is your friend and not everybody that's around you is, there for your best interests. They might be there for you and you think they're there for you and they're going to be helping you out or whatever, but the reality is they might be there to gain something for themselves. And sometimes we don't see that. And I feel like most of the times females, we go through a lot of that, coming across different people and we think, oh yeah, this is my girl, she's my, we're good friends. But the reality is you never really know what somebody's ulterior motives and intentions are for why they're your friend. And she's definitely right when she says sometimes people are just in your life for a season. There could be a purpose that, you're coming across them or you're meeting them, and sometimes as soon as their purpose is done and they've served their purpose, that's it. They're out of your life. But there are times where we try to hold on to relationships with people, thinking that they're there for our best interest, but the reality is they're really not. And one thing that I've learned is that sometimes if you know that you, like she said in the video, if you know that you want to make a change for yourself and you're in a certain path and you're trying to take that road, it's fine for people to come along. But if they're not on that same path as you, if they're not in the same thought process or the mindset that you're on, and they're not trying to take that straight road with you, then they need to go. You would leave them behind. So that's one thing that I've learned is that if you're on a path and somebody comes along, whether it's a male, female, could be your partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, if you're on a path and they want to come along and join you, that's fine. You can join me. Or are you on the same path that I'm going on? Are you thinking in the same mindset, in the same concept? Or do you have the same ultimate goal that I have? And if you do, okay, come on, we can go ahead and keep on that path. But if you don't, then I'll see you later. Thanks for the little chit chat, but you got to go to the back. And sometimes, like, this might be weird, but like, if you ever look up the definition of insanity, like, Albert Einstein said that doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result equals insanity. And I really think that makes a lot of sense. And if you think about it, is that how your life is? Like, do you continue, you want to do different, you want to have a different type of life, you want to change your life or change your thought process or whatever it is, your goal that you have set for yourself. But are you doing anything different to try to achieve that goal? Or are you just thinking it, but then your actions are still in the same pattern, the same thought process? So how are you ever going to achieve your goal if you're surrounding yourself, like she said, with negative people, people that don't want to see you achieve or be successful, and people that are just going to keep you down? Like, that's crazy. That's being insane. So why not, do a little spring cleaning, like they say, when spring's around the corner. So maybe people need to start reevaluating who they surround themselves with and cut off a lot of people, So I just think that we need to be mindful of the kind, like she said, the kind of people that we keep around us, and be cognizant that not everybody wants the best for you. And as she said, like, self-love, I feel like, is the best love, because if you don't love yourself first, then how is somebody else going to come around and love you in the way that you want to be? You have to know what you want for yourself and not settle for anything less. Not saying that you're stuck up or Hasidity or whatever. You're just saying that this is the expectations, or these are the things that I want to achieve and gain for myself. And if anybody comes and they're not meeting me at that minimum requirement, then they don't need to be in my life, And, she also touched bases on, like, as far as being miserable and not being happy for someone else. And we've all been there. I've been there, where you feel like everybody around you is happy, and why am I not happy? And why me? Poor old me. But it's like, sometimes we have to change the way we think. And they always say positive thinking results in positive outcomes. So if you're going to continue to spend your time and your energy in thinking negative and feeding your mind negative thoughts and negative thinkings and all those things, how do you expect for anything good to come to you? It's not going to come to you. And it takes, let's be honest, it takes a lot of energy to put in when you're being envious of other people or wishing that that could be you. Because the reality is, you really don't know how things are behind closed doors with those people, that where sometimes are like, oh, well, they look so happy and things are great. You never know what struggles they have behind closed doors. You only see what's presented to you on the outside. So sometimes we should take a step back and not be so envious and think, it's easy for us to feel like, oh, everybody around us is happy. That's just human nature. We're always going to think that way. But at the same time, maybe we should take time and think about, well, maybe they're just showing us the happy side. What is it really like behind closed doors? And spend more of our energy on changing our thought process and, taking time to think about things that we want and positive things that we want. And I will advocate for positive self-talk. It really does work, because I feel like sometimes when you don't have nobody else to depend on, and you feel like, all the people that you could depend on are nowhere to be found, positive self-talk to yourself really does work. And that also helps with the self-esteem and finding the good qualities and things about yourself, so that if you step out there and people want to bring you down and feel like, oh, well, she's not this and she's not that, you know better. And you already have your self-esteem built up so much that nobody's going to tear it down. And that's one thing that I do encourage with the kids that I see and talk to, is that you have to start with telling yourself your good qualities and start there, because there's no way for you to get somebody else to tell you good things about yourself. You need to be able to acknowledge them yourself before, before anybody else can. So I just feel like sometimes we forget that those simple things, that we have to bring our own selves up and make ourselves feel good, and not be dependent on other people to tell us that we look good, or, we're good at this and good at that. You need to be able to believe it yourself before you can believe it when somebody else says it to you. And that's just how life is sometimes. And I'm really glad that she did do this video, because I feel like it's going to open up a lot of people's eyes and, help a lot of people realize that, sometimes there's nothing wrong with being envious of others, but just use that energy to do something else for yourself. And it's okay to, not be friends with everybody. It's okay to limit the amount of friends that you have. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to have a lot of friends, because sometimes that brings a lot of issues. It's okay to cut people off if they're not bringing forth anything positive. Like, who wants to be around people that are always, not encouraging you and bringing you down, or complaining all the time? Like, at the end of the day, all that complaining is not doing anything for them, nor is it going to do anything for you. So I hope everybody that watches her video is able to take it in and really understand where she's coming from. And I don't understand why two people disliked the video, because I feel like it was a very good video and very informative. And if they were to actually have watched the entire thing, that they would have been able to find something that she said that could have been relatable to them. If you couldn't find anything that was not relatable to you, then I don't know, you might have to search a little deeper, because she, pointed out a lot of things that people in every day can relate to, and you can either have been there or you're currently going there. Either way, it's something that we all go through. You just have to learn how to get past it. And obviously she did, and there are a lot of people that have. So, I mean, the good thing about being, and as individuals, is that we have a lot of choices. And the choices that we make either allow us to go in a positive direction or a negative direction, but never forget that the choices we make at times do determine which direction we go to. So just surround yourself with people that are going to encourage you to make the right decisions, whether they're hard or, are different, and they're things that are out of your comfort zone. Sometimes we have to get out of our comfort zone to get to where we really need to be. Don't just get stuck in one place and settle. I mean, you have to take that leap and make changes to get a different outcome. That's just how life is. It's a topic that needs to be talked about, and I'm glad she's starting with. Thanks for watching. Bye.